Hi guys. Everybody had voted that you guys wanted to see some minimalism around the home tips. This is a really fun topic and I really want to get into it because I love this topic. I love to organize. I love having a clean space. It's not just that I love it, I can't function unless I have it. If I sit down to do a project and there's clutter everywhere, I literally can't finish my project. I can't even start my project. I have to clean the area. I can't focus. So this is not just something that I do, to make my house look good or when company comes over. This is something that I do so I can function because it is necessary for me to thrive. I can't thrive unless I'm in a clean area. That's just how I am. I like to be organized. I like a clean, minimalistic space. So I think I'm just gonna give you guys some of my basic tips for how I keep my space organized and minimal. And later, as we expand in this, we'll hit some other aspects to it. So the first thing that I think is really, really huge is laundry. We have a 4-person household. It's me, my husband, and then with 2 kids. And we have a 10-year-old and a 3-year-old. So we all have capsule wardrobes. Every single one of us has a capsule wardrobe. We have one main laundry hamper that sits in the laundry room. And that's the hamper that my clothes, my husband's clothes, and my 3-year-old's clothes all get put into. My son has his own laundry hamper in his room, and that's a little bit more of a responsibility technique, teaching him how to maintain his room, how to keep his room clean, keep the clothes off the floor. So when the bin in the laundry room fills up, I do a load. Doing laundry about 1 load a day helps to maintain that and keep it from getting overwhelming. So the second thing I want to talk about is the idea that everything has a home. So the idea that everything has a home means that when we come home from work, the keys get hung up in the spot where the keys go. Our coats get hung up. The kids have a hook for their coats that's within their reach. It's easily accessible for them. There's no basket where papers get caught up. We don't just have things sitting out. A concept that kind of goes along with the idea that everything has a place, but it's also kind of its own concept is that I choose problem areas and I focus on those problem areas throughout the day. So our top 3 problem areas. The kids don't have toys in their room. My 10-year-old has toys in his room because he's responsible enough to not play with the toys when he's supposed to be sleeping. My 3-year-old does not have toys in her room. The room is made for sleeping, changing clothes, that's it. There is no toys in there. We do have some books in there because we like to read to her before bed, and she likes to lay in her bed and read. If she wakes up and we haven't gotten her out of the room yet, she'll lay in her bed and read. Or sometimes if she can't fall asleep, she'll grab a book and read in her room. I have no problem with that, but we don't do toys in the bedrooms. We have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. It's 1,300 square foot, maybe 1,400. It's not a big house. And so we don't have a playroom. The toys are in the living room. And the living room becomes a problem area. So throughout the day, when it gets to be too much, we go through and we put everything away and start fresh. Okay, so that's one problem area. The second problem area is we have this little bar counter between the kitchen and the living room. That becomes a problem area. People come home from the store or I come home from work and I set everything down on this bar. And then I have to, take my coat off, take my keys off. And before I know it, there's a problem area on the bar now. Things are just getting cluttered there. So that's an area that we try to maintain throughout the day. And the last thing is dishes. In the kitchen, I think just having dishes sit out is a big thing that can create a lot of clutter. So that's another area that I like to maintain throughout the day. That's not always realistic. And because of that, the next thing I want to talk about is having that nightly routine. So every night before bed, ideally, this isn't all the time, I'm not perfect, but every night before bed, ideally, I like to make sure that our problem areas are clean. I like to go through and before my daughter goes to bed, we'll have her help clean up all the toys. before I go to bed, I like to address the problem area of the bar. I like to make sure that, you know, all the things that go in my daughter's room are in her room, everything that's in my son's room goes in his room, anything that's out, you know, homeschool books get put away, that kind of thing, everything's put away, and everybody helps. It's not just me cleaning. And then the last thing that I really, really like to implement, and it, like I said, it doesn't happen all the time, but I really think it's an important thing for me to wake up and have a clean kitchen. It makes the morning so much easier. So I really like to make sure the dishes are done at night. I think going to bed with that clean kitchen and waking up fresh is such a great start to a day. Something else I like to do every day is make my bed. And that sometimes doesn't even happen until I get home from work, and that's okay. And sometimes my husband tries to do it on his own, and you know, the sheets are put on backwards, the comforter's sideways, and that's okay. I'm probably gonna fix it, but it is okay. I appreciate the effort. Something else I really suggest is making cleaning and having just a neat, organized space be a family project. Something that we implement, and I'm very strong about this thought, is that everybody helps clean. We all make the mess, we all clean it up. Last thing that I want to talk about is a weekly cleaning day. This is a great thing for not just you and your house, but for kids too. We have a cleaning day list for the kids, and you know, they look very different because I have a 3-year-old and a 10-year-old. So my 3-year-old, she has a spray bottle of water and she sprays and cleans the windows. It's just water. You know, sometimes it's messy and sometimes we end up with water everywhere, but it's a way for her to feel like she's involved, and it works for her age. My son, who's 10, his cleaning list looks a little bit more advanced. He can handle them and they work. Now, my husband and I, we take turns with the harder stuff, the things that really need scrubbed down. So the bathrooms, the stove, that kind of thing. Having your family help with these tasks isn't just peace for you, it is so good for your kids. Those are just some basic house organizing tips. I know this wasn't really specific to like minimalism, but I think it's a good start. And I think that just having these habits can help to create a more clean, minimalistic household in general. Next time we do a minimalism video, I'll go into depth a little bit more about minimalism, how to minimize, what minimalism looks like in my house, and what it means to me. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you want to see more about minimalism, let me know in the comments below, or if you have any specific questions, let me know in the comments below. Check me out on Instagram. I am From Soil to Sawdust on Instagram, and every week I do a poll and you guys get to decide what you'd like to see on my channel next, and make sure you subscribe so you know when I post something. Thank you. See you guys later.